So we're here with Nate, and we are here with this beautiful Mustang, and we wanted to take a closer look at it.
Well, this is my 67 Fastback. Started life as just a plain GT 390 car. It's pretty much a ground up transformation. It's got a very loosely based on the Eleanor cars, as you'll see. It's a little bit wider, a little bit longer than a standard Fastback. It's finished in candy apple red. Pretty much a resto mod. You know, Terminator motor, Kenny Bell supercharged, T56 Magnum, chassis works, G machine suspension, 4-link in the rear with a Fab 9, custom interior car. I mean, it's pretty much just about everything. There's not a whole lot factory left on the car. Makes about 650 horsepower, 600 torque. It's a fun little car.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a car that has stood out to me. I saw it yesterday driving by, and I filmed it a little bit, and I'm like, man, this thing's cool. And I was like, the hood was closed. I'm like, man, it'd be really cool if there was like a mod motor in there. And it turns out that there's a Terminator engine in there, yep. Which, I mean, there must have been some pretty serious work to stuff that in there.
Yeah, I mean, the whole engine bay is pretty much shaved. I mean, the shock towers are gone. You pretty much have to change just about everything to squeeze these things in there. It's just been completely reworked. I mean, it drives like a new car would. I mean, it still has AC, it's got the vintage air system, so it's still got creature comforts, things like that, power windows, but I mean, you get all the benefits of an old school car, all the fun new stuff.
Yeah, you've been driving around here, Myrtle Beach, Mustang Week. I mean, it's just a really sharp car.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gotten a really good response. It's been on the show circuit before. It was a SEMA car, an Autorama car. So it made that circuit a couple years ago. It was built in Knoxville, Tennessee by B-Router Custom. And so they showed it quite a bit, but I've gotten great responses. Everybody, you know, it's their favorite car, or they love the paint here and there. I've gotten great response for it.
Yeah, now this is definitely, when I do own one of these cars, it's definitely the way that I would go, you know. Yes. Mod motor, just completely resto mod. But what would you say to someone who says, like, you ruined the car, you know?
Well, I'd say until you drove one, then you can't really say that. I mean, because they're just, I've driven both, you know, I've driven a basically bone stock GT500 that was, you know, just nicely restored, and it's a great car, but they're totally different cars. This car started out as a very, very rough Fastback. I mean, it was pretty far gone. The whole frame had to be redone. The floor on this car is actually flat versus stepped like a standard one would be. The front end is fiberglass. It's not fully metal. It's a completely custom front end. So it's definitely different, but it drives worth it. The changes that have been made make it drive 10 times better than an older one.
So I see there's some badges on it. You know, what exactly do those mean?
So the badges you'll see on the car, Aviatrix, that was the name given to the car. The previous owner was a woman. Her name was Amy, and she was a female pilot for FedEx. So she wanted an aviation theme, which I also enjoy. My dad was in the Air Force. I wish I would have became a pilot, but I went Army instead, despite his wishes. But anyway, so it's got a lot of aviation themes throughout the car. You'll see the gauges are aviation themed. They're reverse sweep gauges, which is common on aircraft. It's got an F4 Phantom joystick. It's actually from the plane for a shifter. And it's just got some other touches like that throughout the car.
Yeah, and if people want to see more of this car, you have Instagram?
Yes, my Instagram is _TopGun67. So if you go on Instagram, you can find me there. And I've got some pictures on there of what it started out as, so if you want to see what it came from and to where it is now, you can see that on there.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for letting us check it out, man.
Appreciate it.
You know, it sounds awesome, and I'm sure it's pretty quick too.
It is.
So obviously we saw in the beauty shots of this, but you know, a Terminator engine stuffed in here. I mean, the shock towers pretty much, these were designed to fit a pushrod, you know, was it 302 originally? 289, 302. So those are much, much smaller. When you put a modular engine in here, I mean, it is a massive ordeal. So obviously there's so much custom work that goes into that. And I really just like how there's just touches all around the car. You know, everything looks awesome. Got the shift knob in there, which we can go around to this side. You know, I love the taillights. Top Gun. Just everything looks really, really awesome. And it's modern enough with kind of a classic look that you can drive this anywhere and enjoy it for sure.